For this lesson today, we are going to create a portrait of a snowman. And we are going to create it so that it's not the full snowman with the 3 circles that you think about. We're going to create it so that it's kind of a close-up of your snowman's head and shoulders, and then the things around him, like his hat and his scarf and his face, of course, and any other details that you want to add. So what you need to do first is you need to get something to draw on. And if you notice the one that I just showed you, this one's painted. This is typically a painting project, but if you do not have paints at home, you can always use crayons or colored pencils or markers or whatever you have access to. Okay, so to begin, what we're going to do is we are going to use our pencil and we are going to draw our snowman's head first. Now we want it to be big enough so that it's, the most important thing on the paper, but not too big because we still want to be able to get his shoulders in there. So I'm going to draw my snowman's head, and I like to draw it more of an oval than a circle, but if you want to make it more circular, you're the artist for this project, so you do it the way you would like to do it. So there is my snowman's head, and then I'm going to put 2 curved lines on either side, and that's going to make my snowman's shoulders, so where it's sitting on the second snowball. And then what I typically do next is I will go ahead and put a hat on because I think that makes it start to look like a real snowman. So you can put any kind of hat on that you want to. This guy is going to have a, like a stocking cap, like what I wear when it's winter time to keep my head warm. And then because it overlaps the top of my snowman's head, I'm going to use my eraser and erase that overlapped part. So you can kind of see where his hat sits on top of his head. And then maybe I will give him a ball on the top of his hat because that just might make it look kind of cute. All right, after you have your snowman's head and your snowman's shoulders and the hat that he's wearing, maybe you want to give him a scarf. So I kind of just put that on top of his shoulders, and I'm going to give it some ties that come down like this. If you want your scarf to look a little bit different, that's okay too. This is your snowman and it's your painting or your drawing. So that's how I'm going to do that. And then he needs a face. Probably the most important thing that we're missing. So when I think of a snowman, I think of a carrot nose. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a triangle for his nose. And then he needs some eyeballs, and when you think of Frosty the Snowman, I think he has coal for eyes, but I'm going to make my snowman have some pretty eyes here. So, but you can do your snowman's eyes however you want, but I'm going to give my snowman eyes like this, make it look a little bit friendly, and then whatever kind of mouth you want. When you think of Frosty the Snowman, I think he has a charcoal mouth too. But I'm going to do this, and I'm going to give him some rosy cheeks. I love it. Okay, and now, maybe some buttons on his, well, I can only really have room for like maybe 1.5 buttons there. And, it looks good, but I think it might look better if I put some designs or some decorations in his scarf and maybe in his hat. Maybe they match. So I'm going to go ahead and give him some stripes on his scarf and some stripes on this part of his hat. And I'm going to leave that probably one color. So, I'm really happy. And to keep my snowman cold, I'm going to make some snow around him in the background. All right. I love it. So I've got my snowman. The next thing is to decorate. You are going to use whatever you've got to decorate. If you have paint, that would be awesome. That's what I'm going to use for my painting. If you don't have paint, but you have crayons or colored pencils or markers, go for it. I want you to make this look like your own snowman. People that are painting, I would suggest adding one more step. So if you're painting and you would like to add this step, something that you can do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to use a black crayon And I'm gonna go ahead and outline all of my lines with my black crayon. So this would take you a few minutes to do this, but I'm gonna trace all of my lines with my black crayon, and what that's gonna do is that's gonna make my decorations really pop when it's time to paint it. So you can see how I have like a black outline around everything, except for my snowflakes, of course. And again, I have a black outline around everything, again, except for my snowflakes. So that next step that you were doing would be this one right here. After you have everything traced with a crayon, if you choose to do that, you are going to paint it, or of course, if you don't have paint, you're going to use whatever else. I am going to go ahead and use these paints and maybe some white liquid paint to make my snowman all pretty. And when I'm all done, it'll look something like this. But of course, you'll choose your own colors and you'll choose your own decorations. So when you get all done with it, don't forget to send me a picture. I will put these up here so you can kind of check out some different decoration techniques that I used. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Good luck with your snowmen. Give them lots of details. Have fun and stay warm, my friends.